beautifuls, this is Aromie here, and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. I'm very sorry if you guys hear the fan in the background. Usually I warn you guys, and then when I edit, I'm like, I don't hear a fan, but just in case if you guys do hear a fan. It's on because the AC in the house is broken, and it's really hot in here. But we are here with Cinderella Phenomenon, and we get the choice to stay with Emmy or go outside, and I'm gonna go outside. Oh wait. Didn't I choose go outside last episode and I was wrong? I don't remember. I moved to stand next to Rod, who is leaning against the wall. Hello, Rod. Rod sighs in annoyance. Why do you keep on following me? Tell me how to rectify whatever wrong I have done to your family. This again? I cannot help but scowl at Rod's answer. You spout all this nonsense about goodness, but refuse to help me. How is that good? You haven't given me any reason to help you. What? If you're not serious about genuinely learning how to be good, then I'm not interested in helping you. Maybe I can catch him off guard by bringing up his response in the toy shop just now. Fine, then I will make a normal conversation. Who is Viorica to you? Has she done something to hurt your family too? No, he likes her. Viorica is a childhood friend. She's not like you at all. Oh, then why were you acting so cold to her? You obviously did not want to be inside the shop. Rod looks away from me and absently kicks a pebble on the ground. Oh yay. Got it. That is none of your business. I sighed, disappointed with Rod's reaction. Rod turns away from me as Emmy exits the shop. Ready to go? Emmy nods with a small smile. The two of us begin to make our way to the palace again. By the time we return to the palace, evening has fallen. I hope we're not late for dinner. The minute the carriage doors open, we are greeted by two familiar faces. Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithras stand before us. Princess Emmy, Prince Rod, I was on my way to look for you when Miss Sir Mithras informed me of your whereabouts. He glares at the knight escort and the knight shrinks back. Sir Alcaster turns sharply to me afterwards, his eyes narrowed. Why is he looking at me like that? It was getting late and the queen was worried. So sorry. It's not our fault. It's not the knight and ours fault that they want to stay out so late. Princess Emmy, Prince Rod, it's almost time for dinner. Please let me escort you inside. Sir Mithras gestures for them to follow him. I'm about to follow after them when Sir Alcaster suddenly moves to block my path. His eyes are cold. He opens his mouth to say something, but then closes it and shakes his head. You're dismissed, girl. You may go back to your quarters. But that is an order. His gaze is piercing. Even when I was a princess, I was not able to stand up to that gaze. Yes, sir. No, sir! After dinner, I make my way back to the room assigned to me. As I walk down the hall, I notice Rod heading in my direction. Rod? He suddenly grabs my arm and pulls me away down the hall. Where are you taking me? Rod does not answer and just continues moving until we reach an unfamiliar door. What is going on? Rod cuts me off by placing a finger on my lips. He looks around warily before finally pulling me in through the door with him. Ooh! Rod wants me to take me into his secret dungeon. I'm kidding. This place. I've heard of this place before, but have never seen it. Is this the secret passage that leads into town? Rod does not answer me. He simply keeps walking and I see no other option but to trail after him. How is it that you know this place? He still refuses to answer. Are you deaf? Technically, he's mute, not deaf. Rod suddenly stops and I bump into his back. I stumble back with a scowl. You ask too many questions, because you refuse to answer any of them. I glare back at him until Rod makes an exasperated sound. Lady Parfait is the one who told me about this passage. It makes sneaking out of the palace easier. Parfait? She did not give me any explanation as to how she knew of this place. There are only meant to be two copies of the keys. The king has one and Sir Alcaster has the other. Then why do you have a key? Don't tell me you stole it from the king. I am not a thief. Lady Parfait also has a copy. She saw fit to provide me with a key for my own use. What? How does Parfait have a key to this place? You'll have to ask her that yourself. Once we step into town, I realize where it is that we are headed. We're going back to the market. Delora is the first person we see as soon as we enter the market. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Delora, you... Rod's glare silences me. He steps forward and points back at me, gaze icy. She is not staying at the palace. What? Delora raises an eyebrow. Why is that? She works there now. I do not know what game you are playing, but I would not be a part of it. Excuse me? This is not a game. I do not want you meddling in my life as you meddled with hers. The room's temperature drops several degrees. Delora stares at Rod, her expression suddenly lacking any emotion. With all due respect, Your Highness, I do not want to meddle with your wallowing. But just because you do not wish to break your curse doesn't mean that others shouldn't want to either. You should be humbled that our princess here thought you would be able to help her. Rod raises an eyebrow. Where is Lady Parfait? Of course you want to talk to Parfait, because she puts things nicely. Fine, I'll fetch her for you. Delora curtsies as she sweeps out of the room. Rod sighs. He clearly looks irritated, but he doesn't put a voice to his agitation. Now that we're alone in the empty room, silence is deafening. Oh crap. Why do you not want to break your curse, bro? I don't know if this is correct. It's probably not correct, oh well. I don't need to explain myself to you. Do you even know how to break your curse? I do. So why are you not doing anything? It's none of your business. I did not realize the anger inside of me at first, and then I noticed that my hands are fists, that I am shaking. You're angry at me for treating your family with unkindness, and yet you do not treat me with any respect or kindness either. Excuse me? I realize that this is the angriest I have felt in a long time, and it makes words fall out of my mouth. You are guilty of the same disrespect you hold me accountable for. We are both being cruel to family, aren't we? Rod's eyes are ablaze as he stalks toward me. He stops right in front of me, his mouth pressed into a firm line. As you are so fond of telling Emmy, we do not share any blood. The only thing pulling us together is the king, and you do not share his morals. Remember this, Michiko. You will never be part of my family. Oh, that's fine. That's fine, Rod. You can keep thinking like that, because then we can fall in love. So, I'm Gucci. And I will never see you as a sister. Oh, good, Rod. I don't want you to see me as a sister. Rod storms out of the reception area just as Delora enters. Sorry, looks like Parfait wasn't in. I don't think that's correct. Yes, load this up. Why do you not want me in the palace? Why do you want me out of the palace? The further away you are from my family, the better. I glare at him. Your reaction is completely unwarranted. I am trying to make up for what I have done in the past. Only because you are being forced to. Oh. Okay. Why should that make any difference? Besides, I am still willing to help you break your curse, even though it appears you do not want to. I do not realize... Okay. Cool. She pauses and gives me a wry smile. Seems this partnership is going well. I throw my hands up in anger. He is infuriating! Not as helpful as you thought. I was surprised you were asking for his help in the first place. All I have been doing today is following around Emmy, and he still finds reasons to snap at me. In his eyes, I can do nothing right, even though I am making an honest effort to break my curse. Delora eyes me as she slides down into a chair. Has he told you anything about his curse? Nothing useful. Delora sighs. Boys can be so secretive about the silliest things. Rod has been aware of how to break his curse from the very beginning. Then why hasn't he broken it? Doesn't he want to talk like a normal person? Like, doesn't he want to talk again? Does he just want a buddy to talk for him? I have no idea. I think the only person who knows the full terms and conditions of Rod's curse is Parfait. Parfait has known Rod for a while. She convinced him to keep coming to the marching even after he gave up on breaking his curse. Parfait also thinks that working with you will convince Rod to try finding another way to break his curse. Another way? Don't ask me. I don't know much about his curse either. But if you keep trying, you might convince Rod to talk. I doubt that very much. It seems that all I'm doing is convincing Rod that I do not deserve to break my own curse. Delora looks at me curiously for a few moments, then she grins. I have an idea. If it's another terrible idea... Oh no, this one's much better. I'll just stick around with you. You know, watch out for you. What? Delora, watch out for me? I'm surprised when Delora suddenly stands before me in her doll form. That's so weird to see her as a doll again. There's no way you and Rod are going to sort yourselves out without some kind of help, so I'll be tagging along. It's much easier when I'm travel-sized, Why do I feel like she'll only make things worse? Come on then. Dolores somehow manages to jump into the front pocket of my apron. How small is this doll? Which is thankfully large enough to fit her doll body. Let's go find us a prince and get ourselves back to the palace. I guess. One step forward. Oh, are we gonna make progress? It has been more than a week since Rod and I returned to the merchant. He has been avoiding me ever since that day. Not that we have much cause to be around each other nowadays. I'm constantly on my feet preparing for Emmy's ball. This is ridiculous. Better to be busy than bored, princess. I stop for a moment to better balance the pile of fabrics that I'm carrying. One of the maids has ordered me to bring this to a designated room so that it can be sorted out. I am being reduced to fetching and carrying, and I have made no progress on accomplishing my first good deed. I doubt that simply following orders from other maids will help me get my first good deed. I feel a shuffling in my pocket and then notice Delora peeking her porcelain face out. Better to obey rather than disobey, at least. You're not going to get a good deed being stubborn. Anyway, you've got to put yourself out there a bit more, princess. You can't just do whatever is convenient for you. That's not good. It's so weird to know that Delora is a doll right now in our pocket. Delora has been no help at all. Wait, I recognize this place. Isn't this where your room is? I stop in front of the door to my old bedroom. Ever since I came here, I have been ignoring this room, and I wanted to see what the king did it during my absence. Do you not want to go in? Why should I? It is not as if it's my room anymore. Oh, you're no fun. Aren't you curious about how it's changed? I would be lying if I said that it wasn't. I guess a little peek would not hurt. Same. I step into the room and close the door behind me. It is like stepping into the past. The room is exactly as I left it. It seems completely untouched. But she's turned back to her human form. Moments later, Delora is standing before me in her human form. It looks like someone's been dusting in here. Strange, considering no one should remember who this room even belongs to. I glance around, eyes wide. Everything looks the same. I put the fabrics that I'm carrying on my bed and make my way to the shelf where my dolls are displayed. My eyes pause on a specific doll. Who's that? She's creepy looking. This one wasn't not here before. Dolora raises an eyebrow. Maybe I just don't remember that one because she wasn't very memorable. You do have a lot of dolls, after all. No, I know each of my dolls by name. This one is definitely new. She looks very similar to the dolls I saw at Viorica's shop. I quickly turn at the sound of the doorknob. My eyes move to Delora, but she has already turned into a doll and tucked herself into a corner of the shelf with the rest of my dolls. Emmy stands in a doorway eyeing me curiously. Michiko, what are you doing here? I made a mistake and thought I was supposed to bring these fabrics here. I hope she does not see through my lie. Emmy shakes her head, smiling. It's not your fault, Michiko. You're still getting used to the palace and its many rooms. I got lost here all the time when I first arrived too. This room is interesting though. Father expressively ordered that it be kept clean but otherwise undisturbed. Why would he say that? He won't say why, but apparently this room is very special to him. Maybe it belonged to someone he cherished. Oh! Cherished? What a joke. Stella cannot help but feel hope at her suggestion. I don't think Father would like either of us being in here. We should leave soon. I only came here to put a ribbon on one of the dolls. One of the dolls? Yes, I put one of my dolls here. It is her doll! She walks past me to pick up the doll I did not recognize. I bought this. I know Emmy always visited Viorica, but I did not think she liked dolls. She always preferred receiving and buying books. So why does she have this doll? Do you like dolls? Well, I mean, I don't mind them, but I don't usually buy them for myself, no? So why did you buy this one? Emmy looks at the doll with a sad smile and shakes her head. I'm not sure. I bought it as a gift. I remember that much. I was going to give it to someone who liked dolls, someone I wanted to befriend. I don't know why, but it feels right to leave the doll here until I can remember whom I was meant to give her to. Oh! Emmy is silent for a moment before she turns to me with a bright smile. I know you have a delivery to make, but could you come with me to the palace entrance first? Mother is still busy talking with the cook, so the fabrics can wait. I resist the urge to glare at her. She better not be dragging me around to do yet more errands. I mean, you're a maid. That's what you do right now, character. I'm expecting a delivery and I might need your help. I thought so. I have no choice but to nod. Of course. What about Delora? I begrudgingly follow Emmy toward the entrance, and there I see the delivery carriage. A familiar person stands beside it. Viorica! Emmy pulls Viorica into a tight hug. I turn my attention away to glare at the numbered boxes at the back of the carriage. I will no doubt have to help carry them inside. How are the preparations for the ball coming? Emmy's smile seemed forced at first, but then eases into something softer. It's going well, I suppose. How about the wedding? Desamon and I have finalized a date. It will be 2 days after your ball. I can't wait to see you in your wedding dress. These two always talk so much when they get together. I mean, they're best friends. They talk. I ignore their chatter as I walk up to the carriage to observe the boxes piled inside. What is in the boxes? Oh! Viorica reaches out to grab one. She hands it to me. I'm helping with the ball decorations. I came by with part of the order today. Part of it? Careful, it's a bit heavy. I was praying it's gonna be light. I take the box from her hands and nearly stumble. This is heavy. Emmy should have the male servants do this. Queen Ophelia placed quite a large order. I brought the more fragile decorations first. Oh, the glass baubles and vases? I grit my teeth as I shift the box on my arms in an attempt to make it easier to hold. I thought you worked at a toy shop. Yes, but we also have aisles dedicated specifically to party decorations. What kind of toy shop is that? Michiko, will you be alright? No! I will not. I feel annoyance simmer within me. I'm obviously not alright. Emmy reaches out to help me with the box, but she is too late. I have only taken one step forward when the box slides and I stumble. I manage to cradle it in my arms, but its weight is too much for me. Before I hit the ground, I feel strong arms around my waist, pulling me back upright. The box is taken from me. Oh? Oh, it's Rod! Oh, my prince! Thank you. Oh, this little bunny is adorable. My heart and mind are racing, and for a moment I cannot comprehend what has just happened. Are you alright? Oh, you're asking me if I'm okay on top of it? Am I dreaming? Rod. Oh, and this is the first time we haven't talked to him in forever, right? In a week? I glance to the side and I'm shocked to see Rod standing there. The expression on his face gives nothing away, but with our close distance, I can see some flicker of emotion in his bright eyes. Concern? I am... Chico. I'm so sorry, are you okay? Rod pushes me and oh, thanks. And I stumble forward, almost tripping on the ground. He raises an eyebrow at me. Know your limits, Michiko. I want to tell him off. Well, I kind of want to stay silent, though. Stay silent or tell him off? I'm a maid. I can't be telling him off. I'm sure that's the correct option, but let's stay silent for a minute. I clench my fist and take a deep breath to try to calm myself. I'll not stoop to his level. He is the one being cruel here, not me. Oh, I was right. Oh. You shouldn't have stubbornly tried to carry something that was too heavy for you. I will not take responsibility if you get hurt. Rod, you shouldn't be angry with her for trying to help me. It was my fault for giving her something so heavy. Viorica, what are you doing here? Rod's voice is still cold. Viorica looks startled by his tone. I only came to deliver some of the decorations for the ball. And you thought Emmy and her maid could carry these things on their own? Rod, this is not her fault. I'm the one who chose to bring Michiko with me. I underestimate the size of the delivery. Oh, I thought she underestimated my size. I was like, well, excuse me. Viorica was just delivering the supplies. At least she admits her mistake. I never thought Rod would be so stubborn. Emmy's expression softened as she looks at her brother. She looks sad. Rod ignores her and picks up the box that I had been carrying. He begins to walk away before he suddenly stops and glances back at me. Come on. Rod? We're going to call some servants to carry these boxes in. He turns around and begins to walk away. I'm Emmy's personal maid, not his. I glance at Emmy, who nods her head. I really am so sorry. Thank you for helping my brother, Michiko. Well, helping him? Helping him how? I curtsy ever so slightly before running after Rod. Rod, wait! Is he allowed to call me by my name? I feel so weird. I feel like you should be like, Maid Michiko, not like, Michiko, come here. It's weird. He picks up his pace as if trying to lose me. I turn the corner and barely stop myself before running right into Rod's back. We're always running into his back all of a sudden now. What now? Why are you so angry at me today? I've barely even spoken to you. Your mere presence is enough to darken my mood. I glare at him across my arms. Funny, you call me cruel, but right now you're worse than I ever was. I don't need someone who hasn't even managed a single good deed to lecture me. Excuse me! I haven't gotten any because you haven't helped me, sir. I have to try very hard to resist the urge to slap him. You're supposed to help me get a good deed. As I said before, I never agreed to this. I still refuse to help you. Rod starts walking again and I hurry after him. I cannot help but recall how cold he was with Viorica earlier. I thought they were friends, but he treated her like this at the toy shop too. Why were you so angry with Viorica earlier? No reason. I raise an eyebrow and Rod quickly answers the question. Then you're cold for no reason. You have such a princely disposition. Rod frowns, but has no rebuttal for my words. You must be generally cold and unfriendly. Excuse me? That would explain why you treated Viorica as you did. I had thought that you two were childhood friends. Viorica was always closer with Emmy than with me. We may have been friendly once, but we've since become distant. Distant? It is none of your business. I paused as we passed by my door, remembering that I left both the fabrics and Delora inside, and made my way toward the door and opened it. What are you doing? None of your business. Enjoyed your field trip? I frown when I see her sitting on my bed in human form. What would you have done if it wasn't me? Us witches have a sense for these things. Delora? Rod slowly enters the room. It's nice to see you here, Lady Delora. Nice to see you too, little Sebby. Aws. Why are you here? Oh, right! What if, like... That's so weird, Sebby's always watching. Delora shrugs as she inspects her nails. I thought I would help the princess here, since someone doesn't seem very willing. Rod furrows his eyebrows at her. I didn't... Yes, I know. You didn't sign up for this. But do you really think you have a choice, Rod? Delora looks at Rod pointedly. You know the consequences if this fails. Rod looks away, expression conflicted. Consequences? What are you talking about? Consequences for not helping me with my curse? Rod sighs heavily before turning back to Delora. He does not pay attention to me. I am not the right person for this. Doesn't matter what you think. The princess thought you were. So suck it up and do your job. Rod is silent for a few moments before he finally faces me, looking resigned. I will help you then, but don't expect me to change my opinions of you. That's what you think, Rod. That's what you think. I shrug at him. It's not like I was expecting you to in the first place. Delora grins with clear triumph. Good talk. Rod sighs. In order to achieve your good deeds, you're going to need to mend what you broke before. I feel I already know what he's going to say. My sister has always wanted to be your friend, so you must do just that. Show her kindness, and you may be able to get your first good deed through her. Show her kindness, huh? Alright, I'll attend the ball with her. Delora not like I have a choice. Delora decides to stay in my room for the time being, saying that she believes Rod will be able to help me for now. Later, I make my way to the dining room with the fabrics and see Emmy and Ophelia inside. Hey, Chico! I see you have the fabric. Thank you. Ophelia takes the topmost sample of the fabric and begins to inspect it as Emmy walks up to me. Where's Rod? He returned to his studies. Oh, right. He has history lessons today. And I am yet to finish my history homework, which is due tomorrow. As Emmy muses aloud, I ponder what Rod told me earlier. I must become Emmy's friend. But is that really a good deed? I hope Rod didn't send the servants out before he went back to his room. I wanted to tell him that Viorica and I had already called on guards to bring the boxes inside. Maybe he decided to start his lesson earlier so that he could make your dance lesson this evening. Dance lesson? Father wanted to hire the best dance instructor in Angeli, but I honestly feel more comfortable with Rod teaching me. He's a good dancer, so Father has allowed it. That is a surprise. I did not know Rod could dance. He used to prefer singing, but then... Oh, singing? He's so talented. Oh, I'm so dumb. Yeah, I can't sing now. Ophelia trails off. I know that she's talking about the fairy tale curse, but I do not expect her to divulge such information to a maid like myself. He's decided to focus on his dancing for the past few months. Ophelia glances down at the fabrics, then looks up and smiles at me. Hey, Chica, would you mind helping me with this? No. I immediately walk over to the fabrics. Ophelia wants me to look through. They are apparently samples for the tablecloth that will be used during the ball. This is going to be a long day. Rod comes immediately to the throne room after his history lessons to start on his dance lessons with Emmy. I'm only standing here because it's my responsibility as her personal maid to watch over her as she practices. I watch as she steps out of rhythm and Rod sighs at her. You're doing it wrong. That's the 10th time. Sorry. Again. They start from the beginning and I am unable to stifle my own sigh when Emmy messes up the same step again. This would make the 11th time. I really am terrible at this. Would you rather have the rural dance instructor teach you? He has more experience teaching than I do. Oh no, I really do want you to teach me, Rod. I'm sorry that I'm such a slow learner. Oh, he didn't say he says M. Sorry, he said M. You were always good at everything. Singing, dancing, cooking. Prince Rod cooks? Yes, Rod does cook. He's very good at it. You didn't have to tell her that, M. Does it really matter? I love bragging about how talented my little brother is. Oh, he's blushing! That is so precious. I see a tinge of... That's not pink, that's red. That's like total red, or peach. Tinge of pink in Rod's cheeks as he turns away. Is he embarrassed? Emmy looks down at the floor. Her smile is smaller. I wish I was as talented as you, Rod. I had always thought Emmy was overly optimistic. She always seemed to bounce back with a smile, no matter how many times I pushed her away. Now I cannot help but reconsider that thought. Still seeing her like this only irritates me. Pitying yourself will get you nowhere. Not everyone can be perfect at everything when they first start out. I remember when Mother gave me Cinderella lessons. She was always such a harsh teacher, and she hated it when I showed weakness in front of her. She made me keep practicing until I had perfected whatever it was she wanted me to do. Failure was never an option. I never had time for self-pity. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself, just try harder. Let failure inspire you to do better. Hey Chico, she's right, Rod. Instead of complaining, I should be working harder. I let out an exasperated sigh and crossed my arms. You always look at your feet whenever you reach the underarm turn. Instead, focus on counting your steps and let Prince Rod lead you. Worrying too much on your next step is what puts you off rhythm. Emmy stares at me. Can you dance me, Chico? I can. Why? Wow, that's amazing! There's nothing amazing about my being able to dance. The praise makes me embarrassed regardless. Maybe I could learn faster seeing someone else do the dance first. What are you talking about? It might be easier to copy the steps if I can have someone perform them first. She turns to me suddenly, eyes bright. Would you help me? I have meant to assist Emmy in any way that I can, but dancing with her brother? Surely a lowly maid should not be doing this. Shouldn't. But that's not gonna stop me. Hell yeah! Well, if I do accept, at least I can prove that I'm a better dancer than Rod. Besides, I'm supposed to be listening to Emmy, no matter how absurd her requests are, if that is what you want. Really? Emmy rushes up to me and takes my hand in hers. Thank you, Michiko. I thought it might be an awkward request, but I'm so happy you've agreed to this. I turn to look at Rod, who is glowering at me. I'm not dancing with her. She might step on my feet. Emmy gives him a disapproving look. Rod, please? Rod eyes me warily. I step toward him and offer my hand. Shall we? Rod scowls at me for a few moments before finally taking my hand. There's like so many thumbnail options today. The first episode of Rod, I didn't really have a thumbnail, so I had to use whatever, like, what's in the gallery. But today, it's like 3 freaking ones. I put my hand on his shoulder and he places his hand on the small of my back. Rod looks at me but quickly averts his gaze. Oh, he's actually shy. Is something wrong? I didn't think I would ever have to dance with you is all. Neither did I. Rod looks at me again. This time he has an uncomfortable scowl on his face. He is not the only uncomfortable one here. We both start dancing and I mentally start counting the steps. It has been a long time since I last danced with anyone, but the steps come to me naturally. The dance is rather simple. While Rod and I move stiffly, I cannot help but notice his careful footwork. I realize that Rod really is a pretty decent dancer. Of course, I would never openly admit that. When we stop, I hear Emmy clapping her hands as she looks at the both of us in awe. You really are a good dancer. Thank you so much for showing me the steps. Now I know for sure what to do during that part. I just shrug at her before stepping back into the corner. Emmy takes her position in front of Rod once more. This time she has a bright smile on her face. I cannot believe something as simple as that has made her so happy. At the end of the day, Emmy has managed to do the steps correctly. She tells me many times how grateful she is for the help. After practice, I return to my room and retire to bed. I think about how happy Emmy was. How can such a small thing make a person so happy? That was wrong? The choice was wrong though? I was wrong? Damn it. I had to refuse, but would I still get the... Or we're gonna be forced to dance together anyway. Even if I do agree, I doubt Rod would even want to dance with me. Can I learn how to dance by watching someone? You have to practice the steps yourself. But if you need a break, just say so, Em. No, really, I find it easier to learn through visuals. Sorry for making you uncomfortable, Chico. Let's just continue our practice, Rod. Emmy smiles at me, but it's obvious that she looks more disheartened now. Rod looks at his sister before shaking his head. He turns to walk toward me and holds out his hand. Would you dance with me? Oh! What? Rod leans closer to me and speaks in a low voice. Play along, this is just for Emmy. He's actually curious about your dancing, princess. Oh! I'm surprised when Sebi suddenly whispers to me. I can tell it is Sebi by the change in the pitch of voice. Oops! Sorry, Rod. Oh, that's so cute! Rod glares at Sebi before looking at me again. Well, I shift my gaze to Emmy, who is practically beaming. I sigh and take Rod's hand. I know Emmy does not like treating me as a maid, but this is a little too much. Fine, just this once. Oh, Sebi. Sebi's like literally the guardian. Oh. Okay, well we gotta stop it there. Hold on. There we go. But that's gonna be it for today's episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. I'm really, really loving it. Wow, our mom looks like Delora's outfit. I don't know, it reminds me of Delora in a way. There's like so many thumbnail options for this episode, but I'll look through and see which one's the best. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.